Hello, Year 2. Today we are starting our introduction to the wonderful world of poetry. Not all poetry has to rhyme, but we are starting by looking at rhyming poetry this week. By the end of the week, you will have been introduced to a lot of new vocabulary, words such as alliteration, stanzas, rhyming couplets, and similes. Today, I'm going to show you how to rhyme like a dime standing on a nine doing a rhyme. Well, I don't think that made any sense, but I am going to tell you all about rhyme. By the end of the week, you're going to be able to write your very own poem. So let's start by making sure we know all about what is poetry. Why don't you pause the video now and chat with somebody at home, or even just have a little think for yourself about what you think poetry is. Okay, so poetry is a form of literature and a very wide genre of writing. Poetry has many different forms and can be written in many different ways. There is a lot of freedom when writing poetry, and because of this, the writer is able to express their thoughts and feelings in very unique ways. I like to say that poetry is art, but with words. Okay, I'm going to start by reading you one of my favorite poems. For now, just sit back and listen and enjoy. It's the camel. Your motion is like a ship at sea. Selflessly and faithfully you carry me. Crossing the vast desert land, our respect for you can never understand. Traveling miles without a drink of water. Through the intense heat, you still never falter. Gentle and calm, providing me with all I need. In this harsh climate, I would never succeed. Your golden body, the color of sand, camouflaged against the desert land. When your legs carry you no more, you stop for a while for you to restore. The delight of the shade from under a tree fills your entire body with glee. Your thirst is quenched by only a river or sea, feeding on plants and harsh desert leaves. The camel, a symbol of ancient history, in Arabia, a land of culture and mystery. A dear place you will always have in the heart of the Bedouin and the people of the Emirate. Aha! Did you notice how the poem was divided into groups of lines? You can see here my poem has 5 groupings of lines. These groups are called stanzas. And if a stanza has 4 or more lines in it, it can be called a verse. Stanzas are used in poetry to provide structure and form. So this poem conjured up an image in my head today. It made me really imagine I was there. It was kind of like a work of art. And the stanzas were used to group the lines so that when I read it, it flowed really well. This poem is clearly separated into 5 separate parts. So can you find for me right now stanza number 4? Yeah, just count down the groupings. Did you get it right? There it is. Okay, so for today's lesson, we're going to focus on rhyming. The aim is to understand rhyming in poetry. How do poets use rhyming, and how are we going to use it? So let's start by understanding exactly what does rhyming mean. Does it mean words that sound the same or are similar in their endings? Example, walk, talk, stalk. Does it mean words that sound different on their endings? Blue, end, simple. Or does it mean words that have the same letter at the start of the word, like cat, car, and cow? Think back to that poem I just read. Can you figure it out? Shall I tell you? Aha. Rhyme means words that sound the same or similar in their endings. Today, we want to see how to use rhyming in poetry. So let's get a move on. Let's start by finding the matching rhyming words. Out of these three options, choose the word that rhymes with snake. Sound out the three options and take a guess. Snake, elephant, cloud. Lovely. Did you get lake? Well done. And what about the word from these three options? The word that rhymes with tree. Let's have a look. Spider, snake, monkey. Did you guess monkey? Well done. We're now ready to look at rhyming words in poetry. So let's look at this stanza. Do you remember what stanza means? That's right, a group of lines in a poem. Can you spot any words that rhyme in this stanza? Traveling miles without a drink of water. Through the intense heat, you still never falter. Gentle and calm, providing me with all I need. In this harsh climate, I would never succeed. Here's a clue, guys. Look at the end of the line. Yes, look at the underlined words. Water rhymes with falter. Need rhymes with succeed. In poetry, we call these rhyming couplets, when the last word of the line rhymes with the last word of the next line. So let's look at some more rhyming couplets and figure out the missing rhyming words. Tiger. Tiger has fur with stripes that are black, with sharp pointy claws, orange fur on his. His teeth are all jagged, he loves to eat meat, with a long stripy tail and pads on his. What do you think should go in those blank spaces? Remember, they have to be rhyming with the last word of the last line. Is this what you got? If you got something different, as long as they rhyme and make sense, that's totally okay. I chose back to rhyme with black and feet to rhyme with meat. Okay, let's do a second one. Monkey. Monkey is funny, he swings from a tree. His tail helps him balance, he's gentle as can. With a long curly tail and fur on his back. He eats bananas and nuts for a quick, healthy. Have a think. Remember, the last word in the line has to rhyme with the last word from the line before to make it a rhyming couplet. Okay, here's what I've written. So here's the same. I've chosen B to rhyme with tree and snack to rhyme with back. As long as it rhymes and makes sense, that's all that matters. So, year 2, that's our introduction to poetry. We learned lots today. We learned what is poetry, we learned what is a stanza, and we learned what is a rhyming couplet. Before you go on to the activities in today's PowerPoint, can you tell an adult in your home or have a little think to yourself to remember what each of these means